I play the character of Surly, and I think that initially he does live up to his name. Surly is a guy who's really concerned with taking care of himself, and he is just that kind of surly. He doesn't necessarily play well with the other animals in the park, in Liberty Park, and he's kind of gruff, and he runs into some trouble early on, and he runs into trouble, and he's put in a situation where now he really has to fend for himself. The dynamics of the park are that Raccoon's in charge, and he's kind of the old guard. There's a system in place. He's in charge of it. All the animals contribute in terms of storing up food for the winter. And Surly kind of lives outside of that system. And through the course of the movie, we discover that maybe Raccoon's interests aren't totally aligned with the best interest for all the animals that live in the park. Surly sees a nut cart on the side of the park. He decides to go for it. It sets into motion a series of events that lead to the tree where they store all their food exploding into a big sort of Roman candle, if you will, of fire and burnt food. At which point the park, all the denizens of the park vote to have Surly exiled, and he feels pretty sorry for himself when he leaves the park. But again, rightfully so. He did kind of wreck the tree that was full of food. He's lived a fairly protected life in the park. He thinks that he's kind of a rough and tumble guy. But then when he gets banished from the park and he's out in the city, he realizes what a tough world it is. It's full of jagged-toothed rats and people and cars and trucks. And, it's a tough environment out there. And things are looking pretty bleak until he and Buddy stumble upon this nut store. And it's like, the holy grail of nuts. While Surly and Andy and Buddy and those guys are trying to figure out a way to bust in the nut store to take the nuts, simultaneous to that, these bad guys are trying to figure out how to break into the bank across the street from the nut store to steal the money from that. So you have these two. It's kind of like at a certain point you have these dual heist movies happening, going along at the same time, and it's super fun. Surly has a great relationship with Buddy. Buddy's a silent type in that he doesn't speak, but he's very sweet, and you get the sense that he's very, very loyal to Surly, maybe more loyal than he should be.